Let's take a look at some of the stories making the headlines today. Members of the Government Hospital Pharmacists Association have laid down their tools in protest of their employers' inability to meet their demands. GHOSPA has been battling the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission over unfair placement of the single spine salary structure, payment of market premium, and poor working conditions for a while now. In a directive cited by GHOne TV News, members have been charged to withdraw their services from today. The immediate past chairman of GHOSPA, Stephen Kokwe, also told Star News that in putting a human face to the strike, personnel will be attending to emergency cases for now. He, however, hinted that if there is no positive outcome, they will totally withdraw all their services. Our checks in the regions reveal that government hospitals, pharmacies in Volta and Upper East regions are not complying with the strike action, providing full services to the clients, but those in Tamale have deserted their pharmacy units with notice pasted on their doors to caution patients. Workers of the Electricity Company of Ghana are continuing their two-day strike over their concerns in stopping the government from privatizing the nation's power distributor. The staff are adhering to an internal circular urging all the staff across ECG operational areas to report to work but should not carry out any official duties for 2 days. Portions of the circular, however, advise the workers to pay attention to sensitive areas such as hospitals and security installations. The Public Utility Regulatory Commission, PURC, has however expressed its displeasure with the strike, imploring the workers to put their customers' interests first. The strike comes days after MEDA assured the agitated staff that there will be no job loss in the planned concession arrangement. The workers last week embarked on a 3-hour strike to press home their concerns. They want government to rather settle its indebtedness to the company than let it off to a private investor. The Hajj board has said it will refund monies to all pilgrims who could not be airlifted to Saudi Arabia. According to the board, the Saudi Arabia government's failure to increase the quota as earlier promised created the needless situation where scores of prospective pilgrims were denied visas for this year's Hajj. The last batch of Ghanaian Muslim pilgrims left yesterday, Sunday, to undertake the annual Hajj pilgrimage, but an ample number of the religious travelers failed to make the final cut. The board has given the failed pilgrims 2 options: to either take their money or authorize the Hajj board to keep it for next year. The 2016 Hajj pilgrimage is expected to begin on September 10 and end on September 16. President John Dramani Mahama has taken his campaign to the central region beginning this week for a 5-day tour of selected districts. With 5 more community-day senior high school buildings completed in the region, President Mahama will kick-start his regional tour with the inauguration of the Aguna Abodom Community Senior High School. While in the region, the leader of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, is expected to pay courtesy calls on the various traditional councils, interact with identifiable groups, and address party supporters. Constituencies that will be visited in this tour include Aguna East, Aguna West, Gomoa East, Gomoa West, Gomoa Central, Fantiman, and Cape Coast North. The others are Cape Coast South, Ekumfi, Esikuma Odobin Brakwa, Ajikuma Enyan Esiama, Besiase, Awutu Senya East, Awutu Senya West, and Commander Edina Eguafo Abrem constituencies. The chiefs and people of the Chakale traditional area in the Wa East constituency of the Upper West region have conferred the title Chief of Patience on the 2016 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The ceremony took place in the palace of the Bolenga Na on Sunday, September 4, when the MPP flag bearer paid a courtesy call on the paramount chief of the Chakale traditional area, Bolenga Na Seidu Nalawonge IV, on the 2nd day of his tour of the region. The Bolenga now commended the MPP flag bearer for the love he showed Ghanaian after 2012 presidential election petition, especially in accepting the Supreme Court ruling, which didn't favor him, and calming his followers to call off their agitations. For this act, the Bolenga Na Seidu Nalawonge IV conferred the title Chief of Patience on Nana Akufo-Addo, matched the applause of the hundreds gathered at the Bolenga Na's palace. The New Patriotic Party's presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo has promised to scrap the SADA program and replace it with the Northern Development Authority, when voted into office. This was disclosed to GHOne TV News by the opposition flag bearer Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's aide, Musa Superior. According to Musa Superior, SADA, as an entity meant to champion development in the North, has failed woefully, hence the need for a new vision to drive that agenda. Popular Ghanaian boxer Brima Kamaku, who is widely known as Bukom Banku, is wanted by the police to summon him for court for assaulting a hairdresser at Choko, a suburb of Accra. Bukom Banku was expected in court this morning to answer on charges of assault leveled against him by the complainant, Martha Nelson, a hairdresser at Choko, but he did not show up. Police prosecutors have not been able to locate Bukom Banku to serve him with a writ of summons, but say they will mount a search for him to serve him to ensure that he makes an appearance in court tomorrow. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has expressed worry over Ghana Parliament's passage of the Bank of Ghana Amendment Bill. This followed a visit by a team from IMF led by Joel Benate last week to continue discussions on the third review of Ghana's financial and economic programs supported by the IMF Extended Credit Facility. Parliament recently passed the Bank of Ghana Amendment Bill, one of the important requirements to the IMF conditionality. IMF wants 0% financing from the central bank to government, but Parliament kept a 5% cap. In a post-meeting brief, Mr. Tuja Benate underscored the recent progress in implementing the IMF-supported program, including the passing of several important legislations by Parliament. He said they have constructive discussions with the Ghanaian authorities on a few outstanding issues and advised that further deliberation needs to be held on aspects of the legislation. The discussions focused mainly on updating the macroeconomic projects, framing up the fiscal outlook for 2016, and ascertaining that financial pressures faced by the main state-owned enterprises in the energy sector will not pose additional risk to the central government budget. As part of the visit, the team from the IMF met with President John Dramani Mahama, Finance Minister Seth Terkper, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Abdul Nasir Ishaku, and other senior officials. Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe has criticized judges who authorized anti-government protests, which later turned violent. He said the judges showed a reckless disregard for peace and warned that they should not dare to be negligent when making decisions. The opposition has accused him of trying to intimidate the judiciary. Opposition supporters are heading to court today, Monday, to challenge a 2-week ban on demonstrations. There have been a number of violent protests in Zimbabwe in recent weeks as the country's economic crisis deepens. The president recently warned protesters there would be no Zimbabwe uprising similar to the Arab Spring. He has routinely blamed the country's economic problems on sabotage by Western critics of his policies, which include the seizure of white-owned commercial farms for black people.